first, some shocking images from Egypt you won't find in the guidebooks.
People here will just put as much as possible on the backs of animals, and it's not fair because they just ruin their animals that way.
The tourist who went to Luxor and never came back, making it her life's work to lighten the load.
I went on holiday with my auntie to Egypt on the Nile. It's beautiful. All I wanted to look at was the animals there. He's just beating. I was just noticing the problems that they had, and I just couldn't believe the state the animals were in. In Luxor, no one washed their animals, no one groomed their animals, they're just using them the whole time. What I was trying to think of was something really simple that you could do to try and help that wouldn't cost much.
9 years ago, Kim Taylor gave up village life in Boxgrove, West Sussex, and moved to Egypt. This is a special flying visit to see her family.
I used to work for a vet many, many years ago. I was always bringing home animals, dumping them with my parents, which they of course love. Hello! Surprise! Hello!
Kim! No! Kim, I'm so pleased you're here. Oh, don't make me cry now.
Please don't cry, please.
Oh dear.
Don't cry.
I'm not really surprised she's done this. It was in Egypt, but she's got the drive, hasn't she? She always has had it as a child. Very independent. And she's just got that drive. She just does it. She gets on with it. Hello. How are you?
Even on a short visit, Kim can't resist checking up on the family's animals.
It's raining! Yay! First time I've seen rain for probably 2 years, no, a year and a half now, since I was here last.
3 months later, with her Sussex trip a distant memory, Kim and Michelle are getting stuck into a typical day in Luxor.
That's really not clever, putting him so close.
It's all right, it's all right. He needs to just bring him over this way. Watch what you're doing. What we started to do originally was to just teach people the basics of healthcare for their animals. So we wanted to make a place where we could show people how to wash their animals, keep them clean, and deal with just the basics like teeth, feet, the normal things. We didn't intend to be veterinary, but we are now.
Between the accessory carpal bone and the carpal bones, there is an access.
We deal with all kinds of animals as well. Not just horses and donkeys, we have water buffaloes, sheep, goats, cows, camels, you name it. It comes here with dogs, cats, all sorts. Man with a cow and a mobile phone. Pretty sad looking cow, isn't it?
No, these are waterproof. Anything that's waterproof.
Kim has her own medical team. As well as treating the animals, they train up local vets. One animal has a typical wound. His harness is dug in from carrying too heavy a load. The best medicine, an ancient Egyptian cure, honey.
Pure regular honey. And this is used in human patients in Western medicine for chronic ulcering wounds that don't heal. And it acts being such a sort of strong osmotic gradient, so it basically desiccates bacteria.
We see lots of things like this. We see a lot of them, really. This and abscesses from beating. We have an average of around 170 animals a day. We can have real problems in here because of them being stallions and little tiny children with big horses and summer holidays right now. So get lots of children in with their animals. Here there's so much sand in the air, and then when they're sweating, that's under the tack rubbing and making sores. And they've realised that if they come and keep them clean and get them washed and get them checked as well, they can prevent those things. And that's what we wanted to do right from the beginning, was prevention.
And prevention means education, and this means going out onto the streets of Luxor. Kim believes what she sees isn't deliberate cruelty.
Look at him beating it, look. No reason at all. It's going really fast. Look, it's going really, it couldn't go any faster and he's still beating it. Why?
Animals here are beasts of burden. Kim is determined to change attitudes. She says this kind of overloading is typical. 12 people, 3 trailers loaded with timber, bags of cement, a cement mixer and other building materials. And all pulled by just one horse and a donkey. And round the corner we encountered more distressing scenes which some might find too upsetting to watch. Kim spotted an elderly horse she treated the day before. It has a broken bone in its leg. The owner promised he'd rest it, but out working again and heading for Luxor's animal accident black spot, the level crossing.
They put a lot of weight on the back of a cart. We see carts laden with bags of cement, and as much as they physically can pull. But some of the times the animals can't pull it, especially over the railway tracks. We find it's up and over the hill, and they can't, and they fall down. What is the point of us doing all this work on them when he's doing this? There's 25 bags of cement on there. Knows how many tonnes of steel. The horse has been in treatment with us already, and it's supposed to be under rest. It's supposed to be rested. This is crazy. Just crazy. Oh, he needs to come home.
Kim's desperate to get the horse back to her centre for treatment.
He should stay at home and rest and come every day. We've seen the overloaded animals here, animals pulling huge weights, and because of that we really do need legislation. And there are some groups in Cairo which we're joining with to try and get some legislation brought forth so that we can have limits as to what an animal should pull. Because people here will just put as much as possible, as we've seen, on the backs of animals and animals pulling, and it's not fair because they just ruin their animals that way.
Kim's working hard to change attitudes, but it's an uphill task.
Don't try and barter with me.
Though there's some way to go, she thinks the horse wash alone is making a difference.
You see in the streets, you see people with their donkeys, all they're doing is bitting them all the time. And so they don't have really a relationship with their animals. So at least when they come here and they're cleaning their animal, they've got their hands on it, they're touching it in a nice way, but also they're building up more of a relationship with their animal as well.
The wounded horse which collapsed at the level crossing was eventually brought back and is now recovering well.
So we've been able to redress its leg, and it's now being able to stand and eat and drink. At least it's not working, which with this leg it shouldn't be working. But we'll do what we can. At least it's going to have a rest for a while. But we'll see if we can convince the owner later to leave her with her for a little bit longer when the leg is healed. And perhaps we can put her out to grass for a while as well. That would be nice. It's fortunate that we were at the track at the right time to be able to take the load off of her and get her up. It's a shame, really a shame.
Kim's seen sights no tourist would want to see, but hopes soon they'll just be part of Egypt's ancient history.
It doesn't really work to just have a place where people can just take it and fix it when it's broken. You've got to do the prevention part as well. But people are realising as well, some of the horses are in excellent condition here now, really good condition. You can't win them all, but at least we're making improvements.
Goodbye, my friend.
Bye-bye.